All right, let's dive into Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Okay.
Everyone knows this movie,
Right.
seen it a million times,
Yeah,
but let's look a little deeper.
absolutely. T2 is more than just your average action flick.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to start with the T-800
Okay.
because he's back, obviously,
Of course.
but he's not back for the same reason, right?
Yeah, it's a total shift.
It's a total shift.
In the first movie, he's this relentless killing machine.
Yep,
Unstoppable.
terrifying.
And then in T2, he's sent back as a protector.
Yeah, it's such a cool,
It's brilliant.
cool way to flip the script.
Yeah, and it lets us, I think, explore what it means to be human.
Yeah, because he's not, he's a machine, but he's learning.
Right, he's learning from John Connor.
Learning from John Connor about being, human.
About empathy, about sacrifice.
Yeah.
Things that he's not programmed to understand at first.
It's not always like super sentimental either.
No, not at all.
There are these moments where you're like, okay,
He's still a machine.
he's still a machine.
He's got those limitations.
Yeah. But it's really cool.
It's what makes him so compelling, I think.
Yeah, compelling. I think
Yeah.
that's the word. But okay, so we've got to talk about Sarah Connor.
Oh, absolutely.
Because talk about transformation.
Linda Hamilton is just phenomenal in this film.
Oh, she's fantastic.
She's carrying the weight of the future, you know?
The weight of knowing what could happen.
Yeah, and that trauma has shaped her.
She's a warrior.
She's a warrior. She's fierce.
But there are these moments where you see,
You see flashes of that vulnerability.
yeah, like a flicker of the Sarah from the first movie.
Yeah. But hardened, you know?
Hardened, yeah.
Hardened by everything she's been through.
Think about that scene where she almost kills Miles Dyson.
Oh, that's a chilling scene.
That is chilling.
Because you understand her desperation.
She's trying to prevent, she thinks she's
She thinks she's saving the world.
saving the world, right?
But it makes you question, how far would you go?
Exactly. Like, where do you draw the line?
Is it ever justified to take a life to save others?
That's heavy stuff.
It is, and the movie doesn't shy away from it.
It really doesn't. Like, can we actually change fate?
Right, or are we all just playing out a script?
That's the big question, right?
And T2 leaves you thinking about it long after the credits roll.
Yeah, it's not just giving you the easy answers.
No, it makes you wrestle with it.
Wrestle with it. Yeah, it's good.
And that's what elevates it beyond, like I said, just a typical action film.
Totally. Okay, now we have to talk about the T-1000.
Ah, the T-1000, what a villain.
What a villain.
The liquid metal, the shape-shifting,
Oh, gosh.
pure nightmare fuel.
I still get chills thinking about some of those scenes.
Right. He's just so relentless.
And efficient, right.
So efficient. No wasted movement.
Yeah. Which is, in a way, almost scarier than the T-800 in the first movie.
Absolutely, because there's no emotion.
He's like a machine in the truest sense.
He is. He represents that pure machine logic. And it makes you question, can humanity even stand up to something like that?
That's a good question.
Because we're messy, you know?
We are messy, we're emotional.
We make mistakes.
And he just keeps coming.
He does. He's a force of nature almost.
And then you have John Connor, right?
Right. This kid who's supposed to save the world.
And he's like, what, 10?
Barely a teenager, yeah.
Dealing with typical teenage stuff.
Rebelling against his mom.
But he's also got this, this huge destiny on his shoulders.
And Edward Furlong is just perfect in that role.
He really is.
He captures that struggle, that tension.
Yeah. Being a kid, but also knowing kind of what he has to do.
Right. And his relationship with the T-800 is so interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like this surrogate father-son dynamic.
It really is.
Which is fascinating because you've got this machine that's programmed being...
Learn about humans.
Yeah, and John, who's lost his father figure.
Yeah, it's like they're both learning from each other.
Exactly, and it's in those moments of connection.
Those little moments.
That the T-800 starts to understand the value of human life.
Yeah, what it means to sacrifice.
What it means to care.
Yeah, and there's humor in it, too.
Oh, absolutely. It's not all doom and gloom.
No, there are those moments of levity.
Where John's youthfulness clashes with the T-800's bluntness.
Yeah, it's really clever.
It's a great balance.
Yeah, and it's all anchored by these amazing performances.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, Arnold, Linda Hamilton, Edward Furlong, they all just nail it.
It's James Cameron at his best, I think.
He really brought all these elements together.
Yeah, T2 is just firing on all cylinders.
It really is. And we've only scratched the surface, so stick with us.
Oh, we'll be back.
We'll be back. We'll be back for part 2.
to dive even deeper into this incredible film.
That's right.
Okay, so we're back.
We are back. More Terminator 2.
Or T2.
Where do we even begin? I mean, we could talk for hours.
We could.
But we've got to focus.
Let's talk special effects.
Okay, the special effects.
Because this movie, I mean, it blew everyone's minds back in '91.
Still holds up today.
It really does.
I mean, that T-1000.
Oh, the liquid metal effects?
Liquid metal, yeah.
Groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking. How did they even do that back then?
Right. So, ILM, Industrial Light and Magic.
Okay.
Dennis Murin was the visual effects supervisor.
Right.
They were using, like, cutting-edge CGI.
CGI, yeah.
Morphing, for example.
Morphing, so that's where he, like, seamlessly changes shape.
Exactly. And they also used motion capture.
Okay, so explain that.
So they would have an actor perform the movements.
Oh, interesting.
And then they would translate those movements onto the digital character.
So it's not just like, somebody drawing a cartoon.
No, it's based on real human movement.
So that's why it looks so real.
Exactly. It's got that weight, that fluidity.
Yeah, like when he walks through the metal bars.
Or reforms after being shot.
It's mind-blowing.
It was mind-blowing then, and it's still impressive now.
Totally. But the effects weren't just there to be flashy.
No, they served a purpose.
They did, right.
They heightened the tension.
Yeah.
The stakes.
Because he can be anyone, right?
He could be anyone.
That's scary.
It is. It plays into our deepest fears about identity, about deception.
Yeah, like you don't know who to trust.
Exactly. Anyone could be the T-1000.
It's like the ultimate paranoia.
It is. And it also ties into those themes of humanity versus machines.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A T-1000, he's like this pure artificial intelligence.
Like unstoppable.
Adaptable, relentless.
And then you have the T-800 who's like stuck in this body.
Right. He's trapped in that mechanical shell.
Even though he's, trying to learn, trying to understand.
Developing a sense of humanity.
Yeah, it's like they're two sides of the same coin.
They are. Two different representations of what machines could be.
And then you have Sarah Connor, who's also kind of in between.
Oh, yeah.
Right. She's human, but she's had to become so hardened.
She's had to suppress a lot of her humanity.
Yeah, to survive.
To protect her son.
It's a tough journey for her. It is. And you see that in Linda Hamilton's performance.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just the physical transformation, which is incredible.
Right. She's ripped.
She's totally ripped.
But it's the way she carries herself, the look in her eyes.
Yeah, there's a fire there.
There is. A determination.
But also, like you said before, that vulnerability.
Those moments where you see the woman she was.
Before everything changed.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
It is. And it makes you realize that, this fight, it's taking a toll on everyone.
Everyone involved is paying a price.
And then you have John Connor, right?
For this kid who's supposed to be the leader of the resistance.
But he's still a kid.
He is, and he's rebelling against his mom.
Pushing back against the destiny that's been laid out for him.
But his relationship with the T-800, it's so crucial.
Yeah, it is.
Because the T-800 becomes this mentor.
Yeah, an unlikely mentor.
Right. This machine teaching him about being human.
It's kind of beautiful, in a way.
It is. It shows that even in the darkest of times, there's hope.
Yeah, and connection.
And the possibility for growth.
Even for a machine.
Exactly.
Powerful stuff. Okay, so back again for our final part of our look at Terminator 2.
It's hard to believe we're already here.
Time flies when you're having fun. So we've talked a lot about the big stuff.
The themes, the characters, the effects.
Right. But I kind of want to geek out for a bit about the actual filmmaking.
Oh, I'm down for that.
I mean, the craft that went into this movie is just incredible.
Absolutely. Just look at Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor.
Yeah, her transformation in this movie is unbelievable.
She trained for months with an ex-Israeli commando.
Wow, I did not know that.
Weapons handling, martial arts, the whole 9 yards.
That's commitment.
It is, and it shows in her performance.
Yeah, she's not just acting tough, she is tough.
Exactly. She embodies that warrior spirit.
And it really adds to the believability of the character.
Because you believe that she could take on a Terminator.
You totally buy it.
And it's a reminder that even with all the CGI and special effects,
yeah,
the power of a performance is still crucial.
It's at the heart of it all, yeah. Okay, but speaking of those special effects.
Oh, we gotta talk about the T-1000.
I mean, come on, the liquid metal. How did they even...
It was revolutionary.
Revolutionary.
A combination of morphing and motion capture.
Okay, so remind me, morphing is where he changes shape, right?
Right. Seamlessly.
Seamless.
And motion capture is where they record an actor's movements.
Got it. And then apply that to the CGI character.
Precisely. So you get this incredibly realistic effect.
Yeah, it's not just like a cartoon blob. It actually moves like a person.
Exactly. There's a fluidity and a weight to it.
Yeah, and it's terrifying. Like when he reforms after being shot,
Or walks through those bars.
it's both mesmerizing and disturbing.
Exactly. It taps into our deepest fears.
Like imagine if anyone could just, like, change their shape like that.
It makes you question who you can trust.
Totally. But it also, I think, goes back to that idea of humanity versus machines.
Oh, absolutely.
The T-1000 is like the ultimate expression of machine logic, right?
He's cold, efficient, unstoppable.
And it makes you wonder, what does it even mean to be human?
Right, especially when a machine can imitate us so perfectly.
If it looks like us, acts like us.
What's the difference? That's a question that T2 really makes you think about.
It does.
Oh.
Okay, but on a lighter note,
Okay.
we got to give James Cameron props for the dialogue.
Oh, the one-liners.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Come with me if you want to live.
I mean, come on, those lines are iconic.
They're part of our cultural DNA.
And they wouldn't be the same without Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
His delivery is just perfect.
Deadpan, but so effective.
He makes it work.
So we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
The special effects, the acting, the themes, the dialogue.
What makes T2 so special?
Yeah, why this movie still resonates all these years later.
It's because it's not just an action movie.
It's more than that.
It's a film that makes you think, makes you feel.
It's got heart, it's got brains.
And it's got some of the most incredible action sequences ever put to film.
Yeah. Exactly. So to wrap this all up,
Okay.
Terminator 2, it's a masterpiece. It's a game changer.
It raised the bar for action filmmaking.
And it's a movie that I think we'll still be talking about.
For decades to come.
For decades to come. So yeah, that's our deep dive into Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Hope you enjoyed it.
I know I did. And I hope you learned a little something along the way.
Always something new to discover with this film.
Absolutely. Until next time.
Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista.